BrickControl is a program that helps you manage your construction projects in a simple, easy, and effective way. BrickControl is a cloud computing software that helps you save money since it does not require any investment in software and server installation. You can access from anywhere in the world by simply logging into our website with your username and password. This software is intended for architects, engineers, constructors, and other professionals working in the construction industry. So let's start the presentation. First of all, let's take a look at our estimates. Here you can see all the projects we have created before in BrickControl. We can create a new project or open another project we have created before. Double-click here to see all the estimates related to this project. Here we can create a new estimate, or you can move on and have more information on other estimates. Here we can see all the chapters our estimate has. And since it is a cloud computing software, any modification is saved in the cloud automatically. For example, if we make some changes here in this chapter, anyone, anywhere in the world will be able to see the modifications at the moment. By using this technology, not only one person but 2, 3, 4, or even more people can be working in the same estimate at the same time and from different places like the office, home, a hotel room, anywhere. Forget the fact that you had to send your estimate via email or having different versions of your estimates. With BrickControl, everyone can work simultaneously in the latest version of the estimate. We're going to double-click here in this chapter and we will see all the work units that are contained with their expected sale and price cost. For every group of chapters, work units, and other records, BrickControl applies different background colors so that the user will not get lost while working in the estimate. Here at the top we can see a navigation bar that will show us where we are, and again, we will not get lost while working in the estimate. Well, let's move on to the resource units. Resource units are units that are contained in the work units. In order to see the resource units this work unit has, just double-click on it. We will have here all the units and their expected prices, which can be modified at any time. Any modification in a resource unit price will affect the entire estimate. To insert a new resource unit, right-click, select New Resource Unit, and you will decide if it is going to be labor, equipment, materials, or general expenses. In fact, we can insert any kind of information depending on the level of the estimate. In BrickControl, you can also import or export estimates from other programs. We're going to go to Price Database, which is located here in Projects, and we can create or import any price database to work rapidly on our estimates. As you can see, BrickControl is a web application that uses the latest technology. We can arrange windows side by side so you can easily compare two estimates or copy and paste units from one estimate to another. Well, in this case, we're going to do it from our price database. We just right-click and copy a work unit, and then we're going to paste it in our estimate. We can also create our own estimate templates to work even more rapidly in BrickControl. Take into account that when we copy a work unit, BrickControl copies all the information contained in that work unit, such as the resource units it might have. This way, creating an estimate will never be that complex anymore. Let's close the Price Database tab and go back to our Estimate tab. We're going to click this button and take a look at the estimate final sheet. Here we can make deductions or calculate taxes. Now let's print our estimate by clicking this button. We can choose the template we're going to use, and if we want to customize them, we can do it by using any word processor. That way, you can add your own logos, set your desired font color, size, etc. We get a PDF file that can be sent to your client's email, or you can print it and have it on the record. This way, we have seen how easy it is to create estimates in BrickControl. Now we're going to close the Estimate tab and move on to the Entities menu. Besides creating projects in BrickControl, we can manage our clients, suppliers, employees, and companies. Since each one of these options work in a similar way, we're only going to cover clients. Here we have a list of all of our clients. If we click this button, we can create a new client. Here on the right side of the screen, we have 3 graphs that show our sales evolution, worldwide distribution, and some events that happened during the last months. If we double-click here, we can take a look at all the client information, which can be modified at any time. Besides, we can attach files to all of our entities, clients, suppliers, employees, and companies, and to all of our projects. For example, AutoCAD drawings, contracts, reports, or any other document can be attached to your project. You will have your files in the cloud, so you can download them anywhere in the world. Here we have another advantage of using BrickControl. Open a project, and let's take a look at all the images that have been attached to this project. As you can see, we only have one image attached to your project. Now we're going to take our phone, open this application, select this project, and take a picture. And this picture will be automatically uploaded to BrickControl. Anyone, anytime, anywhere, using BrickControl on the computer, iPhone, or iPad can see the picture we have just uploaded. Let's say that it is a picture we have just taken at the construction site. Well, we only have to click refresh and we'll be able to see the picture we have just taken. Well, we have all these features since all the information is stored in the cloud and can be accessed by any device. This way, we can take all the pictures we want in different locations so that our colleagues or clients, if we authorize them, can see the progress of the project in real time. Once the project has been awarded, let's go to the Resource Analysis option in the Projects menu. Open your project and have a look at all the required resources. Take into account that we can sort columns the way we want. We can sort them by price, so we can take a look at the highest and the lowest price. Here we have the quantity, expected price, which is the cost price, and the total cost. You can also make changes here if you want to, but note that any change will affect the entire estimate. If we modify the price of a resource unit, we will modify its price in every location that unit is involved. This way, you can negotiate the right deal with your suppliers to get the best pricing and terms on your products. Besides, we can have more information by knowing in which chapters or work units or resource units are involved. As you can see, here we have the quantity and the expected price by chapter or work unit. Now we're going to take a look at the Purchase Invoice option in the Revenue and Expenses menu. Here you can see all the purchase invoices we created before. In order to view or edit any invoice, just double-click on any of them. To create a new invoice, click this button. Now, you will notice how fast it is to insert information in BrickControl, since text is predicted as we type. Invoices can be issued in any currency, and conversion will take place automatically, prior configuration. Now, we're going to insert invoice information in these lines. For example, Portland Cement. Now let's select the location this item is involved. Select the chapter, a work unit, or a resource unit. In this example, we will select the whole project. Each line can have items assigned to different projects, chapters, work units, etc. And if there is an error, BrickControl will notify us at the moment, so that we will have all the invoices without any error. Now we're going to learn how to create timesheets. First of all, let's go to the Revenue and Expenses menu and then click on the Timesheets option. In order to create a new timesheet, click on this button. Now, select an employee. Well, in this opportunity it's going to be Dwayne. And now, we're going to allocate costs. Dwayne will be assigned the project we want, as we did when we created an invoice. Therefore, you can allocate costs to any level of the project. Finally, let's insert all the information about the employee we have selected. Here we have the normal work hours, overtime work hours, and per diems. Here you can also take a look at all the timesheets we previously entered in BrickControl. You can use the filter option, or you can also drag a column header here to group by that column and have another view of all the information. Well, in this opportunity we have grouped information by the employee column. And as you can see, here we have all the timesheets for every employee. Now, we're going to cover the project progress option in the projects menu. Here we can create project progress records for every work unit at a determined date. As you can see, BrickControl saves all the records, so we can have a look at them later in the future. Now, here we have the project, and we're going to insert the progress of the work units that are contained. We're going to double click here in this chapter, which is the first one, and as you can see, the progress of all the work units is 100%. In other words, all the work units of this chapter have been completed. Now, let's go to the second chapter and notice that not all the work units have been completed here. So we're going to insert that information. There are 3 ways to insert the project progress. The first one is to do it by inserting progress percentage in the percentage column for each work unit. The second one is to do it by using measurement lines. And the third one is by inserting values in the productivity measurement column. For example, here we're going to do it the first way, which is by inserting progress percentage of a work unit. Now, as you can see, the value of the productivity measurement is automatically calculated, as well as its expected costs in the total start column. Now, if you want to do it by using measurement lines, BrickControl shows all the measurement lines without any values inserted in the unit column, and you just have to insert them on your own. In other words, simply insert the amount of units that have been completed for each line. Here, if we click this button, we can adjust the progress percentage on the current line or in the entire project. BrickControl analyzes cost and variance that might take place later in a simple and effective way. Let's select the project and define the period of time to be analyzed. BrickControl now shows us the expected cost, real cost, and variance. Expected costs are the ones we inserted in the estimate, considering the project progress, and real costs are the ones we inserted in the invoices and timesheets. Now, if we click this button, BrickControl shows us all the research units involved in the project. We can also have a look at the variance we have in this period of time, the one we selected before starting this analysis, for all the research units, whether they are labor, equipment, materials, and so on. Now, if we double-click in the name of the project, we can have the variance for all the chapters of the project and have a look at the research units involved in that chapter. The main objective here is to detect easily where in your project variance is taking place. By doing this, we can take measures to correct the problem, and even if it is necessary, we can go deeper and have a look at the variance of a work unit. Here we're going to have more information on the research units involved, and we will also know what or who is the main responsible of the variance we have. Now click Home and have a look at the project itself. The main thing here is to have an analysis of the whole project. Well, BrickControl is going to do a great job here. Just double click on Labor. This window will pop up, and now BrickControl is asking us which kind of report we want to have. Let's select Variance Report, and we will have the variance for all the research units. As you can see, here we have the unit, price and total columns for the expected values and the real values. And here we have the information of all the resource variance, price variance, and variance amount. This way we can know if the variance we have is due to the resource units involved after and or during the project, or if it is due to the difference between the expected costs we had in the estimate and the real costs we have now that the works are in progress or have been completed. Notice that below the main window we have another two windows. The one on the left will show us where in the project this resource unit is involved. Here we have the chapter and the work unit it is located, as well as its respective unit, price, and total. This way, BrickControl shows us where variance is taking place. Now in the window that is on the right, we have all the timesheets for this resource unit. Since we're referring to labor here, we have the list of timesheets. But if we were talking about equipment or materials, purchase invoices would show up. Therefore, we can see all the people involved in these works, realize who's responsible of positive or negative variance, and if activities are being properly assigned, due to the fact that sometimes supervisors might be doing the activities of a laborer or the other way around. In other words, BrickControl provides all the information that is necessary to analyze variance and take measures to avoid altering the expected costs in the project. If you also want to have more information on the people that is involved in the project, select Real Costs Report. Here we have all the timesheets we entered for this project during the period of time we have specified before analyzing costs. And now, let's say you want to find out who are the ones working in this period of time. Well, just drag this header here at the top, and information will be grouped by employee name. Now, let's say you want to find out what these people were doing. Well, just drag this header here again, and learn what they were doing. Now, if you want to know when these guys were working, well, simply drag this header here again, and so on. Besides, take into account that in every menu option of BrickControl, you can export all the information to Excel. That way, you can analyze it the way you want. If you remember, in the beginning of this analysis, we selected the labor resource units, right? Well, the other resource units work in a similar way. For example, if we double-click here on materials, we have the same report on all the expected materials involved in the estimate and the purchase invoices that have been assigned to this project, as well as the positive or negative variance that we might run into. Let's summarize. The only thing you have to do is preparing your estimate and having your project progress records. Additionally, you will also have to insert project costs by using the purchase invoice and timesheets options in the revenue and expenses menu. That way, BrickControl will give all this valuable information in the wink of an eye. This is possible due to the fact that all the departments of the company have been integrated in the same software. So get your job done with less effort in BrickControl and save time, money, and have a wide range of information of your projects in a very simple way. Now we're going to learn how to issue certificates, documents that certifies we have completed a determined stage of a project in order to get paid. So let's go to the project certificate option in the projects menu. Here we can open other existing certificates, or we can create a new one. Note that when you're creating a certificate in BrickControl, you can copy it from a project progress record. That way, you will automatically issue a certificate based on the real progress of the project. You can also make some changes here since we don't usually charge the real amount for the progress we have made. Well, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, but that will depend on the different scenarios we might run into. So basically, open a chapter and adjust the price of the work unit we want to charge, depending on the progress of the project. Here we can adjust values by percentage units and measurement lines, as we did when we were working in the project progress option. And if you want to charge your client an upfront fee, you can issue a certificate, even though the project hasn't even started yet. Now we're going to print the certificate. So select the template you're going to use. And once it has been approved, the department of your company in charge of issuing certificate invoices will contact your client. To issue certificate invoices, let's go to the Revenue and Expenses menu and click on the Revenue option. Finally, select Certificate Invoices. Now, here we select the certificate and verify if everything is okay. Now select the template you're going to use and print the invoice. Again, let's verify the invoice we have created and send it by email or as a physical document. Here we have the Reports menu, in which we will find a great deal of reports on all the information in your account. For example, we can have reports on clients, suppliers, employees, timesheets, invoices, and so on. Now we're going to open the Payments option, which is located here in Cash Management. You can use a filter here, as any other menu option in BrickControl. And well, let's take a look at all the pending payments and also have more information on the supplier, payment method, currency, and other information. Remember that we can drag a header here to group by columns and analyze information more effectively. For example, if we group by supplier, we will see all the pending payments for each supplier. All the reports can be exported to Excel in order to work comfortably. Now here we can take a look at all the pending collections, which can be grouped just like the previous options in BrickControl. Before finishing this presentation, we'll give you more information on the User Settings menu. Let's go to the User Licenses option, and here we can have all the users we want and assign permissions to each one of them. For example, we can decide in which project or company a user can work or what kind of role it's going to have assigned. Now we're going to go to Roles and we'll select which options are available for a determined role. So there you have it, BrickControl, a new way of managing your projects in a very effective way, saving time and money. Try it now